Hi, Karen here, and today we're going to be talking about how to be a more effective public speaker.
In my State of the Union, or my speech to the nation,
I have spent the last 20 years virtually teaching people how to speak in public in all sorts of different forums. I have a few very, very important tips that I can pass along to you. So the first really important tip is to make sure you have the right mental preparation to do this.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
You have to come up with how you want the audience to perceive you. Remember that public speaking is about the listener, it's not about the speaker. You need them to understand what you're saying.
Like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as. And
so how is it you want them to perceive you? Calm, confident, knowledgeable, understandable, clear, accurate, factual. All those things are really great qualities to be. But just try to think of which three would you most want to be. Calm, professional, knowledgeable, if it's a more professional aspect of your speech.
Investment opportunities to consider, and
whichever three qualities that you pick are absolutely fine. But the thing that you have to do is to tell yourself to be these things even before the speech starts. Science has shown that if you actually use your name when you're telling yourself these things, it has about a 40% more of an effect on your ability to come across that way. I would say, Karen, I'm going to be calm, professional, knowledgeable. Now, don't use the name Karen unless that is your name. Use your name, don't use my name. I also found that when I have been doing my public speaking things, that if I get nervous at any point during the actual event itself, then those three qualities are a bit of an anchor to me. Anytime that I'm feeling, as I say, any sort of nervousness, I just say, no, Karen, stay calm, professional, knowledgeable. Don't use my name, use your name. And that actually helps you reduce the stress of it all as well. You also need to engage your audience. Effective eye contact really counts for a lot.
Did you chew this book up? Are you gonna look at me?
If you look at this fellow who's trying to sell his product, which is an amazing product that everybody wants, he obviously still finds it very uncomfortable to just look at the audience.
Hi, great to see everyone here this morning. 18 miles on a charge, all day riding, true vehicle replacement.
He glances at them every once in a while, but you have to engage your audience to really show that you believe in what you're saying, rather than just going through the motions. We've all been to presentations where somebody stands up in front of an audience and they have a binder or a pieces of paper that they're reading from.
Playbook has been an incredibly rewarding experience for me, and my publicist wrote something about Dancing with the Stars.
Or even worse,
PowerPoint.
A PowerPoint presentation.
Well, I'll just skip through the video instead.
All they do is read the script, and then once they finish their script, they close the book and they walk off the stage and say, yeah, nailed it. The reality is that people can't stand just watching somebody stand up on a podium reading at them. So it's all about engaging your audience. This is my audience. So what do you think? Aren't woolly jumpers the best? They're not the best. I'm not a wool person. Of course, you have the dreaded
Want to hear like.
They are so distracting when people talk. I'm sure that all of you have had situations where people have spoken that way. How do you avoid it?
I want you to take like out of the dictionary.
First of all, record yourself and be very critical. And when you see that you're doing it, make a conscious decision to avoid doing it. Once you realize that you do it, the way to remedy the situation is literally just to practice in front of a camera or a video camera or an iPad. When you are tempted to say or you stop yourself from speaking completely. Just stop speaking. You'll hear the or in your head. Finish that thought and then continue speaking. When you play back the recording of how you spoke, where you made a conscious decision not to say it, you may notice a bit of hesitation at first, but then you'll notice that actually it sounds absolutely fine. Absolutely no problem at all. So just practice that, and you may find that that will remedy the situation. Of course, with public speaking, practicing is always going to be the best way to improve. Recording yourself is a really, really effective way of seeing if you have any nervous tics or something that you do. The number one for females is that one. Putting your hair behind your ears or twirling your hair or something. I often tell females that are doing public speaking to tie their hair back or put it up to avoid that from happening. Again, these are all self-conscious things that happen when you're nervous. You don't even realize that you're doing them. For men, I would say the most common nervous habit they have has to do with putting their hands in their pockets and jingling their change. At least I'm assuming that's what they're jingling. Hope you enjoyed the first installment of how to be an effective public speaker. And I hope you enjoy where I am right now. What a glorious day this is in Wales. We've just had about 3 weeks of wind and rain and cold. It has been horrible, but oh, it's just lovely. This is kind of my front yard. Isn't that amazing? That's what I love about Wales, amongst the many things. Anyway, bye for now, and I hope to see you soon.